understood Jesus or Muhammad or any Krishna, anybody that was considered of a high vibration. Right?
And that's where you got to show me present, and you also have to be genuine.
Yeah.
If you don't have a large vocabulary, you don't try to suddenly get one because of the people you think you're speaking to.
But I think because we in here cooking, I love it.
Okay. It's working.
Those are disingenuous people, and you don't have to be a genius to be an antenna for that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then I also feel like...
All right, do you have you put everything in the...
Are we good or no?
Let me see here. Let me see.
Huh? Okay.
You guys are live. We hear you.
Okay, but I don't understand.
Are we good? Can you guys hear us? Testing 1 2 1 2.
I don't hear us anymore.
Yeah. Okay, we hear.
Let me see.
I don't hear us. Okay, you are.
Testing 1 2 1 2.
All right, thank you. And you put them all in a folder?
Okay.
The pictures?
Okay, yeah. Okay, we got video and audio
pictures
now.
in a folder?
Oh, the audio.
Man, this is the worst show I've had in a long time.
Everybody's being heard now.
Do it. All right, I'm gonna make this as quick as possible.
That's what he said.
Go to Dr. Russell. Go to Russell Herbals for your detox. I'm about to start my second detox of the year. I'm about to start that October 1st, which is tomorrow. Man, go to russellherbals.com. The detox that I'm on is phase 3. Yes, it's a little expensive, but trust me, the benefits, outweigh anything, right? Just trust me. When I first met Dr. Russell, I was not in a good place. I think I was sick. I had COVID or something like COVID or
Light flu.
He was like, something wrong with you, boy. And then he hit me off, man. He took care of me, man, with a great package. As a matter of fact, Corey Holcomb was there, and Corey Holcomb actually got the package for me.
Mm-hmm.
People say, "Oh, you and Corey not cool." Nah, we good. Mm-hmm. We been good. But again, ever since then, I started taking Dr. Russell's herbals. And let me just tell you, man, it's a different game. I was telling Dwann earlier, Dr. Russell is like Dr. Sebi. And not that they do the same things, not that they have the same modality or methodology. However, they have the same importance to me. You know, I had Dr. Sabi on this show, on the So What show before he passed. He was 88 years old, had just had a baby. You know, just great to be around the elders. So go to russellherbals.com, support. Also, don't forget to go to Total Package Energy, Black-owned business I've been promoting out of the Bay Area for 8-9 years now. And the So What show is the reason they're still in business. So I hope that you guys would continue to support them. And you already know what this is. He is risen. Sarah, what'd you say? Sarah has something. She said something about he is risen that was hilarious. But I will say this. This is the liquor store dick pill killer. No, man, I ain't got to go on and turn my Instagram live on and fake like I'm doing something. I'm not. No disrespect to Shannon, man. It just felt like he was trying to promote. It sounded like he was trying to promote like a ED. Listen,
I don't know. I don't.
Those pills, Rose, Spark,
a little honey,
Viagra, Hims, whatever. They all got chemicals in them from Big Pharma. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Fuck around and go blind, priapism, all types of issues, heart palpitations.
But was she satisfied? Okay, no.
I'm gonna tell you what though. All herbs. Dr. Russell he said he got about 20 blends of this, 20 different blends. And he made these blends right here, the green and the red, for the So What show exclusively. You can't get it anywhere. I'm going to tell you right now, we're running out. I got a very small order this time around. If you guys want some, all I'm going to tell you is he said, if you take more than one pill, that's too much. That's what he told me.
Hallelujah.
Never too much.
He said, that's too much.
If your erection needs a resurrection, you have to get your pills today.
We should have named this Easter Sunday.
You got some of them Easter eggs, baby.
Hey, I'm trying to tell you, this is a real situation. He tells you, take one before action.
Oh.
Maybe you could take it in the morning. Like he told me, take it, put it in your mouth, swish it around with some orange juice.
Oh, I had a guy
He said
like that before.
He said, don't put it in your mouth and swallow it immediately. He said, you got to start the digestion process.
Oh.
He said, and saliva helps with that. He said, drink some orange juice, one pill.
Okay.
One.
This is before the foreplay. This is the
Listen.
pre-gaming.
Oh, it's going to last 36 hours. Listen, this all natural herbs. All I know is
You're going to become the DJ Khaled of the
I
bedroom.
want to put you out there. Do you want to tell people?
Okay,
Sarah,
yeah.
I want to put you out there.
Oh, you can? Okay, so, you know, I had that little friend back a little while back, and, you know, the spirit was willing, but the dick was weak, so he decided, he was thinking about getting some help, so I said, oh, I know somebody that can get you some, but it's all natural. And then what had happened was like
Sarah called me like I was Nino Brown.
Yes, I met him in the parking lot, nigga. I drove up on him.
In the parking lot, huh?
Oh yeah,
And it was on some old, I don't need the whole bottle. I need two of them.
Yeah.
Can I give $15 for two? I said, Sarah, I'll give you two out of my stash. I got a stash.
Give me $15 worth.
Give me $6 worth. I said, come on, Sarah. No, but it's the Res Erection Pill. I love it.
Res Erection.
No, but it's a real situation. Go to my website right now. Supplies are exceedingly limited. Go to my website, MrZoWhat.com. Also,
It's not embarrassing because don't get embarrassed. Get your pills up now. Hey,
Get your
don't
pills.
get embarrassed.
So Hakeem, yours is going out tomorrow.
Okay, Hakeem.
Hey, Raheem, somebody just dropped $100 on the super chat. The knowledge exchange between these two brothers today about to feed families for generations. It's really about to go down. Y'all don't understand. So we was warming up in the break.
Good conversation.
Yeah, man. Commander Clinton, that's a name for you.
Okay.
Going out tomorrow. Andre Allen going out tomorrow. Victory Records LLC going out tomorrow. No Diddy, right? Derek Harris, Derek Cole going out tomorrow, and it's all over the country. We got Michigan, California, Seattle, Milwaukee, Memphis, Cincinnati.
That's all.
We all over the country, man. I'm telling you right now, do not wait. Go to my website right now, www.mrzowa.com. Sitting in with me today on the Zowa Morning Show for the first time, I believe. You should have been on a mansion.
Man, I'm glad I'm here today, though. You know
man. And I'm mad at technical difficulty. We should have been an hour in now. But my friend, man, my good brother, man, and let me just say, man, I'm fucking proud of you.
Appreciate that.
You know, I don't see you. But when I see you, I have to acknowledge the work that you've done. And, you know, I saw you at RZA's wedding.
That was beautiful.
Weekend before last.
Mm-hmm.
And it was beautiful, man. It gave me hope.
Just one.
You know what I'm saying? It was just great to see you, man. And great to chop it up with you. You, Tariq, Jeff Brown.
Yes.
Man, Dwann B is in the building. Yeah.
I appreciate the invite. It's good seeing you. It's also good seeing Sarah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like home.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
We up in here. Now, let's just do this real quick. I got to run through it because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Oh, by the way, download the KBLA Talk 1580 app. I'm in the top 3% of all podcasts in the world. This radio show is on all of the major platforms: Apple Podcasts, Google, what is it? Google Plus, Google Play. I don't know what it's called. Spotify, Pandora. It's everywhere. And in the month of, I'm gonna get the numbers for September, but I do know in the month of August, 90,000 downloads on Apple Podcast alone.
Nice.
I'm telling you, the podcast Voice of Reason is crazy. If you want to hear the radio show, it's every day, Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Tavis Smiley's KBLA Talk 1580. People think if you're not getting numbers on YouTube, you're not getting numbers, but that ain't the case.
Them podcast download numbers are bigger numbers than YouTube numbers.
They don't understand that.
It's like you get somebody to commit to downloading your stuff, that's real, the real.
That's the real. 90,000 downloads in the month of August. We're going to get the readout for what September did, but it's really gaining momentum and traction. Voice of Reason, KBLA Talk 1580. Now, let's get to some of these stories. I just want to jump right into it, man.
Okay, I just want to apologize because due to technical difficulties, I do not have the pictures.
It's all right.
But I can sound it out.
It's fine.
Oh no!
It's
and
fine.
I think want to thank Dwann for representing the big community like that. You know what I'm saying? We always have our champion.
Our champion.
Our champion.
Don't do that.
I don't like the rest of them.
Don't do that. So let's get right to it. Is Diddy going to jail? If so, why? Is this a conspiracy? Is this a distraction? Is something bigger happen? What went on with 23andMe? Is that why they threw Diddy under the bus? Is politics playing a role here? What in the Sam hell is going on in the world today, Dwann B? Let's start with Diddy.
And I look at it in a couple ways. I look at on the earthly level, what was happening right now is in politics, the Democrats are in trouble, and usually when the Democrats are in trouble, they have a Negro they got to throw out there to be the story. But at the same time, Diddy is somebody. I'm born and raised here in L.A.
Yeah.
So you've been hearing about his dirt since the '90s.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You be at the house chilling with people that was at the party because there's always somebody locally L.A. that's in everything happening in L.A.
Right.
So you've been hearing about this dude. He's a scumbag, dirtbag that has a long track record of debauchery and nonsense.
Right.
Who he's in the karmic cycle in his life right now, and whenever people reach that year for their karma to hit, whatever you put out, you get back. And so it's a combination of a scumbag, dirtbag that's been doing a whole bunch of nonsense, killing music, putting these goddamn 2-bar loops to music, taking all the singing out. How does Total not still have a career, son? And you've been killing all the good music. You killed Carl Thomas's career.
Oh my God.
You done did all this stuff.
And the summer rain.
That's just that's just the music part. I ain't even getting into the Cassie ass whoopings and stuff like that he been doing. So you could only play around for so long. And I think whenever they need a distraction, they just gonna look around for whatever Negro's been doing the most, and it's your turn, homeboy.
Wow. And you know what's crazy? I'm gonna push back just a little bit. I am a proponent of karma. But I think the powers that be have figured out how to counterbalance karma a little better than us. You know, like I'm listening to you and his karma, and I know for a fact there are white folk more powerful than him, grimier and dirtier than him. And I would even say he modeled their dustiness, their griminess, right?
Dustiness.
No, in order to rule the world, you have to consume its inhabitants, but you also have to plant seeds. Just to, you understand what I'm saying? Like to create a semblance of normalcy, right? Let's create something where I'm gonna punish you on one end, but then I'm gonna build you up on the other. And I think that's the counterbalance to karma in some cases.
It can be. I hear what you're saying, but this is how I look at it with the whole Diddy situation. Yeah, because one, on my show, I read cards on my show, and about 2 months before this whole thing happened,
Which cards? The regular
playing cards, just regular
okay.
52 poker
Destiny
space
cards. Yes,
straight up just poker cards.
Yeah,
and you can look it up on my show, October 3rd last year. I said, "Oh, Diddy's about to fake because he's in a 6 of diamond cycle, which means whatever you're dealing with, that's the tax collector."
Yeah,
you know. And so I'll say whatever issues he's been dealing with, we're about to see it come to a head. And then a month later, the whole Cassie lawsuit happened, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So on one hand, there is a karmic. Here's the other, and I'm glad you said what you said about white folks do it. The system of, like, if we listen to Neely Fuller and Dr. Claude Anderson, this system of white supremacy was created for white people to get away with problems and their issues. It was for them to be thugs.
Right.
Remember, this Diddy lawsuit was the first time in history in my history that I've ever seen that a major white person was implicated. Universal Music Group and Lucien Grange, the most powerful man in music.
Lucien Grange, yeah.
Yeah, now, and when May hit, somehow Lucien Grange got removed. Zip, shut up. But it was the first time I've seen that a major white person was implicated with a black person. That's one hand. On the other hand, as black folks, we have to understand that they created this system of debauchery for them to get away with it. But in order to keep some semblance of there's law and order, somebody has to go down in order for the masses to accept that there's a chance. And so when that happens, we're going to push a black person out there. And when there's no black person, you'll get an occasional white sacrifice like Harvey Weinstein. He was too loud. If a white person makes it too loud, you bad for business, homie. You got to get up out of here.
Come on, let's go.
But how is that? And Donald Trump is still in power?
See, when it comes to, what are you talking about, Donald Trump?
Yeah, because he's real loud.
Look, the liberals made Donald Trump. They just mad because he winning. Donald Trump was doing this crap in the 80s, in the 90s, and he was king liberal when he was saying you're fired on TV.
Yeah.
But then the minute he switched parties from 2014, he was a Democrat. When he switched parties and started winning for their end, that's when Donald Trump became a problem. They loved that degenerate when he was doing it for them.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Now here's the flip side, because Dwann he's touching on it, and I hope you guys are really listening to what he's saying, because I like throwing him alley-oops and he taking off from the free throw with a blindfold on and dunking it. That's how it's supposed to go. But Dwann is breaking down something that is broken down in the Kabbalion. The Kabbalion talks about as above, so below. so below as above. Polarity. See, we live in a society, the Matrix told us about it, the illusion is choice. When he was on the Apprentice, he was a Democrat. If you notice, a lot of powerful black businessmen have respect for him. Why is that? Michael Jackson was cool with him. Mike
Tyson still.
But why is that? Because at the end of the day, it's about money and power. And the narrative between the haves and the have-nots are divided by red and blue. Right? So now, these are ideas. The great Krishnamurti said, it is conceptual thinking that keeps men separated. I'm a Democrat. I'm a Republican. Well, we've been Democrats for over a century now. Well, if we look at Democrats and their history of how they treated us, even
worse.
I'm not even talking about when they were the Klan.
Till 2 years last
I'm
week.
talking about this liberal piece that we can't seem to get over. If you look at liberalism, it's, oh, those poor people. That's what, it's false empathy. Oh, we have to do something to help them. But it's also condescension. It's also, now you know I'm trying to help you. Don't fight me. I'm not the problem. It's that. Microaggressions, right? But then it's also, I will never give up my position to truly balance the scales. That's what liberalism is. And we're still living in this kind of conundrum right now, this kind of Groundhog Day, that we won't even look at objectively the other side. Now, I'm not for either one of these people. Because I understand.
Yeah, I'm with you, brother.
I understand this is a business. They have selected somebody already. Who do you think they've selected?
I think that they selected. This is the hardest one for me to ever call. This is the hardest one ever because Trump. I see how all of the media is kind of coming together to unite against Trump, and I've never seen none of this before.
Right.
I've never seen even the local media. Trump gets shot at, and they like, well, he didn't flinch.
It's his rhetoric.
Yeah, it's his rhetoric that he got shot at. And like, I've never seen a presidential candidate get targeted twice. Get like Iran is now on his ass, and they put out a bounty. The DOJ says $150,000. I've never seen this and so much, not like laissez-faire, whatever treatment towards a former president. Usually there's a higher level of, whether you like him or not. Even President Bush, who had 9/11 happen, didn't get this. But then
you also have the same person that's getting shot at trying to put out there, well, why ain't nobody shooting at her? Well, not like, don't shoot at me. Y'all ain't shooting at her neither?
He didn't really say that. They jumbled his words up when he said that. What he was really saying was, if somebody's out here trying to kill the president, they keep making insightful comments. And even in that Peter Doocy guy is going to St. Pierre saying, look, y'all keep making these comments saying that, he's radical, he's changing the government, is creating radicals to kill him. On the other end, the way I think Kamala Harris, because the way they rushed her in last second, they protected her. She ain't got to do no interviews. You know what I mean? And she gets this bubble secluded in. Now you're seeing history of her dad's side, all the Irish slave owners on his side. And
you can't talk about her.
Yeah.
You're going to cancel Janet Jackson in defense.
Janet Jackson.
Penny.
In defense.
5, 4, 3.
And no disrespect, man.
The week after her brother died.
Oh, my God.
Come on. We lost Tito.
And then DL gonna come out and drag her plastic surgery as if he looks like he's aging well.
Right. DL Hughley, bruh. The way DL Hughley been acting and the liberal brothers on mainstream radio, the way they've all been acting towards where to protect black women come. How do you go in on a black woman's nose over it? Just say Kamala Harris really is black. Just say she is. Just go take that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's the politicians against all of us. Politicians represent banks, industry, wealthy half percenters, and then it's the other 99.5% of us. And you're going to take the side of somebody that represents the oligarchy system over Rhythm Nation.
Come on, man.
Well,
He's sitting there talking about her, and he looked like a teen.
Oh
He
my
got-
God!
He
But
got,
they say
he got
it's a
that.
big rich town.
He got that Australian birthmark on his cheeks.
Come on, man.
Oh,
See,
my
Neil,
God.
he got me kicked on Twitter once for some stuff. So I don't feel no way
I
towards him.
feel no ways tied.
Because my thing is, anybody who protects this vile, evil, nasty, ugly system, whatever politician you go with, I go out another human being, another one of us, somebody that got a day job, or somebody that's giving us music. All of her music's been positive. She ain't never represented our culture bad. She was sexually assaulted in a Super Bowl by a white man, and they blamed her.
Yeah.
She got her ripped off. I saw it with my own two eyes.
I was there.
He did this. She like, what the fuck? And she became
She was the villain, and he was okay.
But you also have to
Talking about
understand-
Justin Timberlake.
But you also have to understand, like, when people tell the truth, it seems like you either gonna get canceled, something just gonna happen. Because remember, y'all remember right before Joan Rivers died, she said that that Michelle Obama was transgender, and then a week later she was gone.
Well, to me, that's harder to prove. But let me just say this, and it's a good point. It's a good point.
She said what she heard.
But let me just say this. This is what's really interesting to me. Truth is no longer facts, information, and data. What truth is a narrative. And if you go against the narrative, you're going against the truth. So the narrative right now is she's black, she's AKA, she's a sister, she can have the opportunity to be the first African American / Indian American woman president. Okay, that's the narrative that's being pushed. So my thought now, anything this important requires critical thinking. What is the foundation of critical thought?
asking questions.
Questioning.
Questions.
Do you know you've been programmed since Sunday school?
Yes.
See,
Not Father Abraham.
let me just say, they told you in Sunday school you can't question God.
Oh.
And who is the God of your everyday life? The government.
They feed you. It keeps you warm.
Do you understand? The
Protection.
government is the provider. The government is daddy. You saw it during slavery times when slave owners, male slave owners, believed in something called paternalism.
Kamala Harris, folks.
I know what's best for my slaves and my woman. That was the birth of the birth of the soft life.
Of the soft life.
Yeah.
Because wealthy white men said, no, my women don't work no more. Before that, they were sharecropping too. Everybody was working.
Mm-hmm.
But when America started to make a little money and we got something called a middle class, white men invented paternalism. Listen, I know what's best for my slaves. I'm their father, not just their owner. Same with my woman. I know what's best for my woman. Stay your ass in the house, tend to the kids. Domesticity became a part of her life because of the concept of paternalism. But see, we playing this game today as if everything is still the same. Pieces are the same, but a lot of things have changed. And I'm going to tell you right now, politically speaking, they have selected somebody to run the world for the next, I would say, you think she'll be in there for 2?
I don't think that she will be in there for 2, but I think if she is elected, it's going down. I think states are going to succeed from the union. This is going to be like some bullshit.
Let me ask a question. Do we have that video?
We don't got nothing.
The Bashar video?
I don't have anything.
In the name of.
I'm so sorry.
Nah, I'm trying to set this thing up. I'm going to do it myself.
Yeah.
I'm finna just play it. There's this video. So the dude's name is Daryl Anka, okay? He is an internationally known channeler, speaker and author with sales of over 300,000 books in Japan. Anka claims that he began to communicate through trance channeling with an extraterrestrial by the name of Bashar in 1983. I just thought that this was interesting. This is what he says. I want you guys to hear this. Let's see.
If you don't know him, let me introduce you. I got a treat for you today. This is Daryl Lenka. And if you don't know him, let me introduce you to him. So Daryl is a well-known channeler. And he channels this extraterrestrial named Bashar. Now, Bashar has weighed in on the upcoming election. And I want you to listen to what he says, because I believe it wholeheartedly. Please listen.
Simply speaking, we are not really allowed to comment deeply on your politics, but since things are changing somewhat in the near future, I am allowed to give you some very general specifics about the election in the United States. However, there must be caveats with this, since we are normally not allowed to comment on such things. There are certain things we can say, but if we say them, because it is your world, are you willing to take responsibility for the responses of your population to what we are about to say? And before you answer, think carefully about what that means. Are you willing to take responsibility for what we are about to say? Be sure the answer is yes.
Yes.
All right. This is what we are allowed to say. The female will lead to open contact. The male will lead to the termination of the United States and World War III. End of comment.
And so he's basically saying, if Kamala wins, she leads us to open contact with extraterrestrials.
Which is weird because Trump was the one that opened all that stuff up when his first time in
That's
president.
why I thought it was weird too.
That's why, like, sometimes when I'm different. I know I'm different. I don't ever try to say I'm the dominant thought. But when I see male, female, I don't want to sound like one of these California liberal weirdos, but I don't look at man, woman. I look at principle. The principle in which you rule by. Do you rule off of a feminine principle, or do you rule off more masculine principle? I look at it as feminine and masculine, the principles in which things operate. You know, and when I look at the way Kamala Harris ruled here in California, she ruled with a very masculine rulership.
Man. Come on, man.
Everything, she's in a woman's body, but her level of how punitive she was, how she put black women in jail for
and nobody
truancy.
wants to. That's what. Listen, bro. You own. Listen. Critical thinking is a crime. You can't call her out for that without you being a hater of black women. Like, is it? We're in California.
We've been here. This is what I tell people all the time. Look, I first donated to Kamala Harris 2008 when she came down here to club. Remember that it was a club called Le Doux over here on Las Palmas and Hollywood Boulevard, where all the black people perform. Like that was our club night on Thursday nights. She came and did a fundraiser, and she ran as a black. I'm going to run for a state attorney general. It was in those prelim days. So I donated to her, and I followed her, and I watched her. I watched how she double talked the Matrice Richardson case. Right. You know, saying she's gonna get justice only to get in office.
She disappeared.
Yeah.
Off of Malibu somewhere. We all remember her.
We all remember her.
Now, y'all might not know who she is, but we remember
We do.
her. She disappeared, got pulled over by the sheriffs, foul play, something weird, how you losing facts and data and information about somebody who was clearly lost and in trouble. And now all of a sudden y'all don't know nothing. Ain't it your job to know, especially if she called or whatever happened? What happened to the girl?
And Kamala Harris ran, when she ran for state attorney general in 2010, took office February 2011. She ran on, I'm going to hold the police, if the police are accountable for what happened, I'm going to hold the police accountable.
Right.
We saw her get in office and then ignore the stuff. Then we saw the Department of Justice say, hey, this is Obama's Department of Justice. The feds. They said California's prisons are overcrowded. You need to release prisoners. 2011, she got that edict. She didn't release them until 2014. because she said, I got to fight these wildfires. And hey, look. And so we saw how she moved. We saw how she drove the car when she got the keys.
Right.
And then so we out here on the West, and now people trying to tell you we hate women. Look, we've been in the passenger seat with her driving before.
We know what it is.
We know she can't avoid potholes. We know she kind of stupid. She make them left-hand turns when a truck is coming. And we like, hey, we lived this before. And people don't want to listen. So,
Listen.
But at the same time, it's like that. But everybody done lived through Trump too, though.
And what happened? Nothing.
It's a lot of things happen with Trump, though. Like the thing is,
Let me ask
everybody
a
gonna talk
question.
about her. Okay.
Let me ask and I'm asking you this question. Did Trump do something? And I don't know. I'm just asking. If anybody else knows, please give us the answer. Did Trump do something to black people as vile as Clinton's 94 crime bill, which came from Biden? Did Trump enact something that impacted black lives in America as viciously as the crime bill did during the Clinton days?
I will say this. I think that, okay, mind you, all the shit that really went down with Obama and him enacting and getting all these laws and stuff for gay people and stuff like that happened when? In the second term. With a crime bill and stuff like that, that happened in Bill Clinton's second term.
Now first.
It happened in the first?
94.
Oh, 94. But at the same time, I think I'm scared of Trump's second time. Because the first time, he wasn't going to do nothing. But all the shit he talking about right now doing,
but like, here's the thing.
it just seems
Sarah,
that it's going to be worse.
Look.
That's what it appears to me.
Look, when it comes to a president, when it comes to any politician, they only have one relationship to us. What they put their John Hancock signature on. Everything else is hogwash. What are you going to sign? Bill Clinton signed things that hurt us multi-generationally.
Yeah.
Joe Biden.
So did Reagan.
So did Reagan.
Yeah.
Oh,
so did Clinton.
So did Bush. They signed
Patriot Act.
The Patriot.
Man, let's
I'm just pointing out. They say Trump he's the devil. Trump is the Antichrist. I'm not with none of it.
I ain't with none of it.
I just want you to know I don't have a horse in the race.
I'm with Zoe on that.
I'm just simply saying, where is the critical thinking to where you say, I'm not just going to blindly follow? We got a lot of coons that don't know what coon mean today.
Right.
Coon means someone who doesn't question. The highest form of intellect is to be able to observe without judgment. You guys are judging somebody else or a different political candidate simply because of what side of the aisle he's on. I'm simply saying, what's best for us as a people? Does anybody have an agenda for us as a people? Are we still falling for the old narrative? I'm doing for all and everybody when other sections of people are being taken care of. The Jews are getting a stipend every year. Billions of dollars. The Ukrainians, you got immigrants coming over, especially in California. You can get a house zero down now if you're an immigrant. I'm just simply saying, it seems that the money you say you don't have for reparations, you can create for immigrants, you can create for wars, you can create for other countries. I'm just simply saying, when do we stop going for the okie doke? Because every 4 years, it is the most important election of your life, and your vote matters the fucking most. And you better stop voting based on skin color.
Yeah.
That's racist, actually.
Right. Racial appropriation. To me, the girl is like Justin Timberlake album.
Oh, cry me a river, baby.
Hey, so I got something for you.
Go ahead.
I got something for you going on, like what things that they signed. Mm-hmm. I challenge everybody to go to whitehouse.gov and go back to May 9th, 2024. Mm-hmm. What they did was, back when the pandemic happened, the Biden administration said we're going to help Asians because of what's been going on. We got to give them a higher economic. The Stop Asian Hate bill was just part of it. The $26 billion was just part of it. I'll tell you what's more devious. They did a progress report in 2024 on the stuff that they enacted in 2021. They said they want at least 15% of all government jobs to have Asian management. They want to give out at least 12% of all government contracts to the post recovery bill. That money went out. 12% of those contracts went out to Asian-owned businesses. If you go to whitehouse.gov and go to May 9, 2024, they give a progress report showing what happened, not what they're going to do, what they did over the last 2.5 years. And what they did was they certified now, 70% of black middle class is in government jobs. Now 15% of government job management staff is Asian. Who the fuck they gonna hire you dumb niggas? You have they're getting the government contracts. The thing that built generational wealth ain't one player in the family making the NBA. Yeah. It's somebody that gets government contracts. Through government contracts, I can hire more black people. The substantive things, getting Asians got specifically government contracts. They got specifically management positions and jobs. They got specific things that black people can't get, and Kamala Harris is behind it, and we got to pay for that shit because at least the Republicans, at least them, they ain't giving money to nobody. So it's not going to be a net negative because ain't nobody getting nothing. The Democrats take that money and give it to specific groups that hate black people, and those people become our management, and then we're going to be looking at, like in L.A., y'all on the East Coast, y'all still see black people working construction jobs and in the DMV. You come to L.A., the DMV is no longer black. The city job, clerk jobs that was all black in the 80s and the 90s, they all other races because they hire other races to be management staff. And when they become management staff, they hire their own people and we get screwed out of it. And it all happens on a Democrat watch.
Well, but a lot of black people, but black people.
That's a net negative.
But see, we be looking for like miracle. Like to me, I think of it as like, a miracle is supposed to be something that's not required every day. Like it's something spontaneous and something that's like real magical to happen. But it's like we be looking for one thing as a people we gonna champion child. Like the one kid to be in the NBA, you know what I'm saying? But we don't never like really try to come together. We come together when it's something that we think that's that one person, like the Messiah nigga.
We come together in these Democrat cities and look. Cause I can't go there because I do myself. I know too many people, black people in business that come to our Democrat cities in Chicago, in Atlanta. Well, in Atlanta, they kind of got a little something special going on there. Yeah. But Chicago, everywhere else, New York, LA, we try to get these contract positions. Oh no, they got that rubber glove they got to put up our ass to get 2 cents from the government. Other people, because of people like AAPI, they got their own bureaus they can go to where they get shown and trained how to do these things. Black people, we ain't as bad as we think we are. Yeah. We really try, but with us, if we not the second coming of Jesus, it don't happen. And their mediocre gets pushed to the front of the line, and that's what happens.
Oh, absolutely.
Let me tell you something. I was in my 20s when OJ goes to jail.
Yeah.
Right? And it changes things, right?
It did.
What OJ, his story and his case and everything in the media and the whirlwind, you were here.
I remember that.
Right? It changed things and it up-leveled things. Because what I mean by that is in terms of the black man, black woman war in relationships.
Yeah.
I've always said everybody is a work in progress. Everybody is a whip, right? A human being, work in progress. That means you're going to see the ugly side of your partner. You're going to see the disappointing side of your partner, the toxic side of your partner, the frustrated side of your partner. You're going to see a full range of whatever they modeled in childhood in your adult relationships. That's what you're going to see.
Right.
Just like a lot of young people are talking shit about the 90s, you got the kid out of the Timberwolves saying Anthony Edwards saying everybody in the 90s was trash in terms of skill except Michael Jordan, right? He used that example. Well, what the OJ situation did for relationships was it painted a blanket license on dysfunction in relationships.
It did.
Now, there were tiers before. You had domestic violence. We pushed and shoved each other. Right? My wife slapped me. Right? I was frustrated at work. My wife hit me, and I turned around and I grabbed her by the neck for a moment. All of that was seen as, okay, we can work this out. Therapy, right? So you had divisions. You had CCV, IPV, and IT. CCV, common couple violence. It's called common because it's ubiquitous. IPV, intimate partner violence. And then you have something called IT. Now, OJ's version is IT. Motherfuckers is killed, necks is cut. Not to say that these other two can't kill you, because they can. An accidental push. You know, you saw the movie Black Jesus with Denzel and Ray Allen. He accidentally pushed his wife and she hit her head and died. And
Mrs. Shuttlesworth.
That's common couple violence, or that's IPV. Right? But it's not intimate terrorism. With OJ, everything got blanketed as intimate terrorism. Intimate terrorism is dealt with through the police and jail. That's how you deal with intimate terrorism. The other two, you deal with therapy. And your relationships can survive moments of, and it's hard to say this, domestic violence. Who's the most domestically abusive partner, gender-wise? Women.
That's by far.
Because women do the most provocative shit, but what they do is
allegedly
paternalism. Paternalism is still in play. Because she's a woman, she's not as strong, she's not as big, she can't hurt you. Well, there's spitting, kicking, pushing, throwing things. All of these things are labeled as moderate violence and is perpetrated more often by the woman than the man. Now, the gender piece comes back in. Well, according to the Conflict Tactics Survey, when men get violent with women, they break and hurt women. Why am I outlining all of this? It's very important for you to understand why the rift between black men and women exists today. You got people that are basic human beings that have whatever toxicity from their family, right, coming into the relationship. You got two people coming in with their own mess. You got people now labeling them as narcissists, labeling them as toxic, labeling them as whatever negative, disparaging thing there is, in the spirit of seeing them as an intimate terrorist.
Right. They're not.
Do you see?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what I signed up for. And it's like, wait a minute, you signed up for a human experience with another human experience, and you're taking the position that you're somehow perfect with no issues. Right. How do we fix it, Dwann?
People have to know that relationships are a mirror. And your issues are going to come out through the person that you attracted to. You attract that person for a reason. There's something inside of you that attracted you to them. And in these issues, like you said before, it gets to that terrorist violence, these sort of back and forths, there are problems for us to solve ourselves. And there are problems for us to solve our own hangups and our shortcomings through what we see being mirrored to the person that we chose to be with. And relationships are an opportunity to use each other's trauma to level up. But the issue is people want to act like they perfect. Right. People don't want to be accountable. People want to act like all the issues are somebody else. And that's why we have the problems that we have. The way people see it. They see issues in a relationship as, okay, that person's a problem. Instead of asking, okay, what did I do to what's my part of this problem, and what can I learn out of this problem? Right. And embracing it with a certain level of humbleness.
Right. The clinical term for it is catastrophizing. And then the colloquial hood term is you making a mountain
out of a molehill.
So, meaning we should normalize the flaws of humanity in our intimate interaction. We should normalize that. That doesn't mean we accept emotional abuse, psychological abuse, physical abuse. It doesn't mean we accept it. It means we normalize the fact that the potentiality of something going wrong within a person is there. We normalize that. We know this is what I'm signing up for. But many of us catastrophize the human moments, which are those galvanizing moments when you just said you use the trauma to up level spiritually. Yeah. Many of us didn't sign up. We're not signing up for that. And what we're doing is the grandparents and the parents who learned how to live through that and grow through that are now seen as the 90s NBA players that don't have no skills.
Real talk.
Does that make sense?
That makes complete sense. People are looking at it like, I was somewhere the other day and I was talking about some young cats about, I'm married and everything. And they were like, well, what is this? And I don't want to get married and this and that. And I was talking to them about, hey, look, man. And that generation really said that's not a thing. That was that was something from your time.
Right.
I'm like, I realize I'm a millennial. They were saying marriage was done when I was a kid too.
Right.
But at the same time, you when you look at it from the point of view of this is something that a we thing that we can help each other out, and also when you come across when you're in a relationship with somebody and you see they did something messed up because sometimes you just won't get. You be like, women like y'all do stuff all the time that I'll never get. I've been on my wife since 7th grade. Even though we've been married for 10 years, but we've been friends since 7th grade, and I still don't get half that women shit she be on. Right. But right. No, I don't. But what you say is, you know what? It's a lot of man shit that I be on that I know she ain't gonna get.
That she ain't gonna understand.
So let me let her have that, because at the end of the day, what you get from it, the synergy between the two, your blind spots she see my blind spots at home before I go outside. You know what I mean? Because there's vultures out here in this world. And that woman out there can say, hey, cover your 5 o'clock. She can cover that for you. Yeah. And through the people you bring, right? You bring certain people around the house and she be like, that one ain't it. And it's all kinds of things like that. But again, it comes back to a humbleness and not knowing. And as somebody's been married for a long time, you got it's constantly checking yourself too.
Right. Because you can sleep with a lot of people, but the person that you find rest with is the person that you really should.
Wait, the person you find what?
Rest. You can sleep. You don't want somebody that you have rest and peace with? That's what I'm talking about, peace.
What I'm saying is nobody gives you that. That's something you give yourself.
You got to create that.
You have to create that.
Even if you have it yourself and you don't have someone else that has it as well, then...
No.
Really?
No, you just heard what the
man said. Let me tell you what.
I'm just saying.
You know what y'all women do? Oh, he minded his own business. Let me tell him to go pick up this, do that this. Even a great relationship, look, you got to create your space and peace.
But that's what I'm saying.
You just heard him say, like, people, this is the thing that be pissing me off. People hear it, but it don't resonate until they go through it, I think.
Oh, maybe I've never been married.
The man just said relationship is a mirror.
Yeah.
So you not going to get something you not.
That's what I'm saying, but that's what you
want.
So
you said, don't you want somebody that you can rest with and have peace with?
Yeah.
Well, that starts with you.
Yeah, we have it with. I'm not saying they give it to you.
You ain't even got to ask for it when you become it. Really? It's not even an expectation no more. See, let me tie it all the way back around.
Make it.
We started this piece.
Okay.
We started this discussion with politics.
Okay.
We ain't on the same political page because we're not on the same relational page. We can't have a community-wide agenda because we're at war relationally.
Real talk.
Why are we at war relationally? Because number one, we don't understand that the white man took our spiritual knowledge and turned it into psychology. Psychology is them saying this is how they behave and this is what they think. But psychology as a term means the study of the soul. See, we understood generational curses weren't actually curses. Generational curses are actually classes. We're supposed to purge granddaddy's abuse of women. That gets passed down as a generational baton. Do you understand that? I don't. See,
people who are in the old warlike stories, sometimes you got to pay for the sins of your fathers. It's paying for the sins of your fathers.
Man, keep going. There we go.
Because we weren't raised. Look, our granddaddy slavery was no chump. That was abuse on top of abuse. And so it's a lot of things that they picked up during that time and during Jim Crow that wasn't the best for the time, but it's how you handle the times. You know, in the 1900s, you may have to slap, beat your kids because they cross that street, they may die.
They may die.
They literally may die.
Right.
So it's a certain level of intensity the moment required. We're in different moments now. We have different ways of handling things.
Right.
And different ways of doing things. And so we grow and evolve. You say that's what my dad did, but I'm going to do something a little bit different.
Right.
I look at my dad, like my grandfather who just passed away at 98 years old. My grandfather was a cold MF. You know, I thought he been calling me a little fat motherfucker since I was 2. You know what I mean? He'd be like, get up and turn that remote control, goddamn. You need to lose some goddamn weight anyway. And then, but
he don't know what that is.
Yeah, he
don't know that that's emotional abuse.
Right, he don't know that.
That's
and then my grandmother told me he treats like he's toughing you up in the house. The psychology of Black America back then was toughing you up at home so you can face the world outside.
So you can face
the world
And my
outside.
dad, that's how it evolved through my dad. My dad saw that what my granddad did to him and to his brother and sister growing up. So he knew, my dad inherently knew, okay, that wasn't the thing to do. So my father's thing was, he was a big Smokey Robinson fan in the 60s. Mm-hmm. He listened to a lot of that Smokey, a lot of that Motown, that talk. My dad learned how to treat a woman through a lot of that Motown music because his dad didn't give it to him. My
social
grandfather.
game rules, right.
When we had good music. And he treated my mom a little bit different than how he was treated. Mm-hmm. And my parents are still married to this day. I'm going to go see them when we leave. And through growing, I was in a household where I was nurtured through 2 loving parents who still take random trips to Vegas on a whim like that. They probably in Vegas now just because they woke up this morning and decided to go.
Right.
So, but it happened, what was always saying, you transmute the energy, you see what happened, you see it didn't work, and you evolve it and you grow it. What happens is now you got a lot of people now trying to bring in granddaddy's rules of the 19 teens or whatever into this new world, but at the same time, you're not going through what granddaddy, this isn't the world that granddaddy had.
The rules don't fit.
It's a different world.
It's a different world.
And you got to learn from somebody something different.
So that's why I present the concept that the gender roles are outdated in the sense that they're only focused on gender.
Yes.
So here you go.
Yes.
You're a man, you're a woman. Your role is to nurture, take care of the kids, be the mamas, be the kids' first God and mama and teacher and lover and therapist. Protect, provide. Don't let nothing slide on your watch. Right? If it goes down, it's all on you. If it fails, it's your responsibility. You can't talk about it, you can't complain about it, put it on your shoulder, keep putting one foot in front of the other until your ass is in the grave. That's manhood. Right? No excuses. That's manhood. That's what we were taught. The gender roles are flawed because they do nothing to address inner work. That's what makes them flawed. So it makes them an extension of the society you live in. Gender roles are societal rules. And they're rooted in the Bible or whatever religious belief system. The man is the head, but what is a head that is eroded on the inside? What is a head that hasn't met God internally? What is a head who hasn't met internal peace? Who hasn't won internal battles? If you're dating a man who hasn't fought himself and won a few self battles, that's a no-go. But what happens, how God set up relationships, this is the relationship as a mirror concept, whatever is left undone is calling out to its counterpart. That's relationship as a mirror. Anything in you that is reconciled or not reconciled is a magnet that's calling out to its counterpart so that it can see itself for resolution. This is what Carl Jung was talking about. He says anything in the subconscious is trying to find its way to the consciousness, the conscious mind, for reconciliation. So
that's what it's about. It's about solving the issue, because if the issue comes up, it's something that, because this is how I look at God. I do relationship counseling through my cards and everything, and you see it all the time. When you see the other side of you getting through this issue with that person, that's usually where the things that's going to put you where you've always wanted to be. The concept of you that you see,
right,
that you want to conceive, that quote unquote bliss or whatever, that comes through the struggle.
Right.
You got to go through some things to get to some things.
Right.
And in a relationship, those things that when people see the good side of the relationship, like earlier you talked about how me and my wife at the Hollywood Bowl twice a week.
Yeah.
We live it up. Mm-hmm. But that comes through some shit. Right. And that comes through you facing, and first you got to be willing to face yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you're not willing to face yourself when she says something, you're going to go right into attack mode on her because you don't want to see yourself. Both people in the relationship have to have the number one priority of, I am going to be the best person that I can be. And that's where it starts. If you don't first want to be the best person you can be, this whole relationship thing is going to fall. Because that person is going to say something at the wrong time that you need to hear. And how are you going to take that? If you have a mindset that you want to improve, you might get mad at first, but you're going to sit back, think, do the internal work. Go to therapy, go to counseling, do it. But if you don't want that, and if you're one of those people who I'm perfect and I'm always right, that's when it's going to lead to certain levels of abuse, and then it's out of here. We're over with.
And you can see a man who hasn't done the work. You're right. You can see a man who hasn't done the work that Dwann just outlined. He wants control. He doesn't want equilibrium, right? Because married, listen, there are going to be times where I got the best idea and the idea that is best suited for us. And then there's going to be times where you got the best idea.
Right.
And guess what? You find that in that cooperation that is marriage, no, you got it. I'm going to bring up the rear. I got your back. I got your six. Then sometimes she go, nope, you got it. I'm going to bring up the rear. I got your back. It vacillates. Am I right?
Yeah, it's just certain things the woman may do better or the male may do better. And sometimes the thing they may do better may cross gender roles, what we were talking about earlier. I've seen it in some relationships I've seen. The woman is the better vocal mouthpiece to get things done while the man handles some other things behind the scenes. And then certain things, he's the better vocal mouthpiece while and it's a give, it's no set. At the end of the day, your relationship is between you two. Yes, and y'all got to set the boundaries. All this societal crap, you got to be like, okay, this is what I'm good at, this is what I'm bad at. This is what you good at, you bad at, and we're going to work with each other on this thing. And then and you build a trust when it's my turn to step up. You do your job to 100%.
So, okay, because I was told by an older black man, whatever, that the reason why I'm not married because I'm too combative, and if I would shut the fuck up, I could get somebody. But me being there's somebody that was me.
Let me answer that. That is indicative of an unhealed man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good point.
You should be able to listen to a woman talk, complain, vent even. He should be able to listen to that, right? Problem is, a man who has not reconciled his own emotional stability, what they call it is self-regulation, being able to self-regulate emotionally, right? Now, some people be like, who the fuck is you talking about, Zoe? Didn't we see you pop off on Aries Spears live? No. First off, that was 7 years ago.
Oh, it's the anniversary.
No, it's not an anniversary.
I'm joking.
But let's not forget, self-regulation does not mean the 100% tolerance of disrespect. And if you're dealing with a man, just understand there's only going to be so much you can say and do in a disrespectful context, right?
You know what my dad always told me? Going back to that situation, people want to bring that up. My dad always told me as far as avoiding conflict, you don't play with men. Men don't play. Men kill. And you never know how long a person's wick is. Some people got a wick this long. Some people got a wick that long. And whatever it is how that person's supposed to be. So one, men don't play. Two, just because a man jumps, look, everything is necessary. Right. Every modality is necessary depending on the time that it happens. So if you see somebody go there when their thing is, you then look at the character of who they are after that and how they deal with these things. And you also we as black people got to forgive. You'll see a white person do some stuff all the time, and then they'll come right back. You be like, oh, that's cool anyway. Black person mess up or do something that I don't want to say mess up. They do something you don't like. Who the fuck are you anyway?
Right.
You know what I mean? And you don't have that level of compassion and understanding. You just missed the opportunity to heal a part of yourself.
But see, this goes back to the dysfunction that we live in with regards to this society. You are descended from abused, tortured, disrespected, marginalized, demeaned people. Now, you can make the argument, oh, we was already here in America and this was Egypt, and okay, fine, that's okay. But there's a section of us, and let's not act like some of that genetic material didn't get in, okay? So at the end of the day, whenever you're dealing with abused people over centuries, it's not like, oh, slavery, that was 150 years ago. Well, what happened after slavery?
Jim Crow.
Black laws first, then Jim Crow, right? Like,
and then Jim Crow 2.0.
Come on, listen.
And then Jim had a crow.
Do you see what I'm saying? So you've been a person, or you've descended from people that have been persecuted, right? So persecution is in your blood. The key is try not to. We have to have these kinds of discussions so we can learn to stop persecuting ourselves. Soon as a Diddy falls, we all jump on Diddy, and sometimes rightfully so. I don't know what that man did, but guess what? If he did any of the things that they said he did, and that video was enough for me to see, being the father of a daughter and a granddaughter, that's enough for me to see, right? Cool. However, I'm not going to speak on his demise. When Farrakhan said, when you see a man fall, don't laugh.
No.
Learn. Because guess what? This system don't give a fuck about you, your kids, your property. They don't give a fuck about none of that. And guess what? To make an example of your ass, they will be more than happy to make you the next Diddy on some trumped up shit. If we go back and we look at Michael Jackson, ain't none of you niggas can stand up to the scrutiny that man stood up to. 10 years of investigation by the FBI. Listen.
And nothing came back?
And nothing. Listen, when the feds come for you, no, they got something.
They tapping phone lines.
They got something.
Bubbles got a wire on.
Listen, this is why this Diddy indictment took a minute. And what were black people saying? A lot of black people was like, you know what? Why didn't he just leave when he could have?
He was with Russell.
But here's the thing.
And the Crickets.
Here's the thing. When they come with an indictment, believe you me, they got something to pin on you. This ain't local law enforcement. This ain't the sheriff department.
It's the feds.
This is the Fed. They got something to pin. So here's the thing. When they went after Michael Jackson, this is modern day times. Nigga, Michael Jackson is modern day times.
Yeah,
he died in 2009.
This is modern times.
This is modern times. They said, wait a minute. This motherfucker is now in the music business real estate game, and he's the top player in the music business real estate game.
Owning.
Yeah, he was on Boardwalk.
This nigga was on Boardwalk and Park Place. This nigga had Marvin's Gardens.
Yeah.
Nigga, he had all, hey man, he had all of it. 300,000 over, I think it was, now it's like 800,000 records. 800,000 songs. People say, oh, he owned the Beatles. No, he owned a portion.
No, a portion.
150. But goddamn.
This is the thing, when people want to talk about, oh, it's unrealistic when Michael made that power move, you got to understand this. It's 2 books I want y'all to read. On my Patreon, I have a whole discussion of how our black music was destroyed. But it's 2 books I want y'all to get if you want to go no further of how real this gets. It's a book called Music Hitmen.
Great book.
And it's talking about how serious these folks are about controlling distribution. And if you get to a certain level, even white artists, when it comes to controlling things, they're coming for you. And the other one is called Rhythm and Business.
Great book.
How they got together and they basically took R&B and said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to use this to finance everything else and ensure that these black artists stay poor and stay broke.
Great book.
This is all things. You think these white folks put all these infrastructures and structures together for some moonwalking nigga to buy half a Sony?
Hey, come on, moonwalking nigga.
Listen. I don't think y'all understand.
How real this is.
A catalog
Nigga walking backwards?
that's generating billions of dollars every year was sold back to the devils that he was trying to fight him, that he was fighting with.
Yes.
And sold back for cheap. $795 million for a catalog with 800,000 records that's producing billions of dollars in revenue every 365 days gets sold back to the devil for $795. When they were talking about selling it, they were saying, you know what? The estimates are up to 40 billion and you sold it for $795. Listen, man, this whole complex conversation, I know it's nuanced. It all ties together. How can you demean us for not standing with somebody that really don't feel like us? And then say, if you were, listen, if you know it's good for you, no, you're not black if you don't vote for me, Biden, right? Mm-hmm. The dysfunction in our community is such that you can't expect us to be on code or some kind of code.
Real talk.
You can't expect us to be there until you put the psychological and spiritual resources into healing our relationships with each other. And then after we heal it with each other, we got to heal it with the government, or we got to create our own government. Mm-hmm. This is why the nation was like total separation. Yeah. Like it's too many fractures for you to come in and say, oh, fuck Janet Jackson and her white nose.
And you know what? I want to bring this circle us all back to one thing when it comes to Kamala Harris. We're going to put this all back in together. Mm-hmm. You know what Kamala Harris did about 10 years ago? Mm-hmm. She went and got the estate of the great Nina Simone. Oh. Nina Simone had an estate, and her daughter was over the estate, and they found that her daughter misappropriated around approximately a little under $2 million she used for personal, because they're supposed to use this to charity. Yeah. Which people misappropriate charity funds all the time. Mm. They misappropriated she misappropriated less than $2 million. What Kamala Harris did was she put a $6 million fine on the estate. She took the estate. And usually what happens is if something like happens, the state would put a conservator over it for like 5 years until you pay back what you paid back, then it goes back to you. Mm-hmm. What she did was say no. She took the estate from Nina Simone's daughter and put the estate, Nina Simone's estate, in the hands of white handlers, and her daughter got nothing, had to sign a gag order. And so you notice about the last piracy they made the Nina Simone movie with Zoe Saldana. Yeah. That's because the daughter had no say-so, because this Kamala Harris's estate people were the ones controlling her estate when they made that decision for Zoe Saldana to play Nina Simone. And so she went over and aboard, and then when the final court date happened, she was laughing in the court when this estate got taken from the daughter. And then this cold bitch, when she got a knife, I don't even like using that word. I do not like use. I'm not a proponent for that word. But this move makes that word appropriate, because she played a Nina Simone song at her vice presidential inauguration, knowing what she did to that woman and that family. Wow. And now you got the daughter, the granddaughter came out and said some things, but they did something. They put her back under gag order. So this is a black woman who took a pillar of black society, Nina Simone, took her estate. Yes, did the daughter do something that wasn't right? True. But every day you read the paper, somebody's doing something wrong to somebody's estate, but the estate don't get taken. She took it and gave it to white people, and then turned around and played that song for her inauguration. And now the daughter and the granddaughter don't get to survive off of that black woman's estate because of something Kamala Harris did. And y'all calling her black.
Right. No, she do some nigga shit though.
Like
but she not black, but she do some that was some nigga shit.
That was some honky shit, right? That was some white folk shit. Yeah. Taking it in the state?
No, but
we ain't taking nobody.
Nigga don't have to be in black. I'm talking about
take your Cadillac.
And these are great points, because look, he said that's some honky shit.
Yeah.
We don't take estates.
You know what else?
We take your rims.
You know what else was some honky shit? This was some honky shit right here. Eminem start talking shit about Michael Jackson.
Ha!
Michael Jackson goes, all right, cool. Give me your publishing for $300 million. Now, every time you play on the radio, every time you perform, anytime you drop a record, I get paid. Yeah. He learned that from white people, just like Diddy learned his debauchery.
From Clive Davis that don't even act like he know him no more.
Listen, I'm not saying that maybe Diddy had a tumultuous upbringing. Maybe his mother got something to do with it. But let me just say, can we start by the system he actually came up in? Do y'all know the record industry and the way, man, when I worked for Madonna, I could never get comfortable with the way these white people talk. I'm in my 20s. Listen.
I can imagine, brother.
I go in with a tape, the Jazzy Fat Nasties. I'm like, yo, this is a hip hop version of In Vogue. We're Warner Brothers. Let's get Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis to produce them. Let's get Babyface. We can get anybody. You're Madonna. Let's do this. And they pretty just like In Vogue. They can sing. I put the demo in. The dude that owns the label, his name was Freddie DeMann. Used to be Michael's manager, Madonna's manager, Lionel Richie's manager, Macy Gray's manager, Tavares' manager.
Never had a love like this.
You understand? He been in the game a long time, Italian dude. He was like, oh man, this shit makes my dick hard.
That's how they talk.
Been there before.
I was like, what?
Yeah, that's how they talk.
Yeah.
What?
I know you was mad when they said that. Like, what?
They be making some uncomfortable statements.
Man, I was just like, look, man, I just want to sign them. Because I know me. Like, even my daughter, I'm talking about relocating to the South. And she was like, nah, man, you can't go to the South. She was like, nah, you not built for the South. Yeah, if you go to the South, you're going to be fighting white people. I already know. Like, the moment some slick white shit come out their mouth that they're accustomed to saying, you going to pop off. She said, you can't go there. So that's how I was in the music. In my 20s, I was a different animal. I was just listening like, man, I got to get the fuck out this office. I'm trying to sign this group, but you talking about an erection, my nigga. Like,
and that's how it is. Like,
steamy relationship.
Like when I used to do like comedy full time back in the day and I'd do open mic, I had to stop doing like a lot of white rooms because no matter what happens, really just non-black comics, they always got a joke that's gonna come back to male penis, black male penis. Come on, all the time. They're gonna always find a way to bring up a black cock. That's how they say it, black cock. They're gonna reverse engineer a joke. Every race that's not black that's gonna come back. And that's how. So to be around these people sometimes is maddening.
It is.
Because if you give a natural human response, because the natural response, living, not even human, the natural animalistic response to disrespect is a resolution to disrespect. Whatever that means that may come through, whether it be verbal, physical. But as black men, when we use our methods to check somebody, even if we don't fight them, even if we verbally talk to them and do it in a certain way, we're known as confrontational, as evil, as this. So our natural human instinct to protect ourselves has been legalized away in a lot of ways, and we constantly face these daily microaggressions where, okay, I can get past this. But it happens every other day, every third day, every other hour, and it keeps happening, and it builds up over a time, and we got to find a way to handle it, because if we handle it in the way that we want to handle it, it's going to be a whole nother, 7 years of judgment?
Come on, man.
Bruh.
Now, as your flawed co-leader in life.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. That's a great way.
As your flawed co-leader in life, I need to call you out on Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B, one of my favorites is Glorilla. I think she's one of my favorites. I love her energy and her spirit. I gotta call you out. You can't keep promoting whole culture, but want a whole life with a whole man. And most of these girls that are promoting the whole culture and the dark side of our community, most of them have a man.
Yes.
Right.
Most of them are acting right in relationship with a man. Do you understand? While promoting some shit that is totally incongruent and misaligned with our reality. Young girl, Big Lotto just came out with a song called Brokey while niggas is fighting for reparations. How ill-timed is that shit?
Bruh.
That's for real.
You know,
And younger women don't understand the context of what's happening in America, the dollar, BRICS, everything that's going on, reparation, and you have the unmitigated, and motherfuckers is dancing to it. Talk to me, man.
see, we in a time. See, in the 90s we had the Studio Gangsters, right?
Right.
In the 2000s we had the Studio Flashy Boys who had all the money but they was really broke.
Right.
Now we got the Studio Hoes. Not necessarily calling them hoes in their personal life. I don't know what their personal life. Like I said, most of them are married. They're living a different life than what they're preaching on the music. Right. And it started when Beyonce was singing all those single lady songs. What was she doing? Getting married.
Getting married.
And and that song was innocent, but it devolved over a 15-year period into what we have now.
Right.
And we got this studio hoe culture. I was thinking about this the other day with all we've gone through from Trayvon Martin. Let's say started Trayvon Martin with all the police brutality stuff that went through. We went through Trump. We went through a pandemic. And there's not one popular radio play song to echo the signs of the times. Yeah. There hasn't been an equivalent outside of Kendrick doing all right and stuff, certain things. Every spotty.
How much a dollar costs?
How much a dollar costs. But that's one artist, one album.
Right.
I mean,
and he just dropped "Watch the Party Die,"
and that was some real deep stuff there.
Come on, but like, where's "Sign of the Times"? Where's "Man in the Mirror"?
Where's "Move On Up"?
Move on. Come on, man.
Where is any of that? Where is any of that?
Where's Brothers Gonna Work It Out?
Where's Fight the Power, Ozzy Brothers?
Fight the Power. Where are these records?
What was I saying? What was the song I mentioned earlier before we started? People, even Parliament Funkadelic was metaphysical. People don't understand how metaphysical, spiritual they was.
Come on. America Eats Us Young. That's a record.
America Eats Us Young. He said, free your mind and your ass will follow.
Come on.
For the freedom of heaven is within. That's
Come
the
on.
track.
Yeah.
And then, but it's a song he has called Good Thoughts, Bad Thoughts. But let's go to One Nation Under a Groove. One Nation Under a Groove was one of the greatest party songs of all time. It's probably a top 5 party. But listen, I want people to go back. Y'all out there listening in the world, listen to the intro, the first line of that song. Here is a chance to dance our way out of our position. When you listen to Aqua Boogie, I could dance through the water, through the molecules of wetness like an eel through seaweed. Mr. Wiggles, that was with the rhythm it takes to dance through all we have to live through. All that music was saying, look, you can be angry and fight it. That's one way of doing it. Another way is we all see the oppression. The water is the oppression. Dancing underwater without getting wet.
Right.
It's all around us. But what we gonna do is we gonna slide between it. We gonna dance around it, and we gonna still find a way to love each other and do what we gotta do to get around this shit, because so high you can't get over it, so low you can't get under it, so wide you can get around it. Nigga, dance through it then. And that's what we do. We find ways to dance.
In between the raindrops.
In between the raindrops. Even our dance music was telling us a message to deal with. We haven't had nothing mainstream outside of a one-off.
Yeah. Fantasy.
Oh,
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh, my God.
That's the law of attraction.
Fantasy's law of attraction. On your face. Ain't it funny how you feel when you on your face? And no matter how you hide it, states your case. It's talking about, but that can't make me sad.
Wait, Prince. If I were your girlfriend. Wait a minute. Prince, you need another lover like you need a hole in your head. Hey. Heal yourself first.
Michael Jackson said, We're taking over. We have the truth. This is a message for me and you. There is no fear or danger. Come together. You're one of us. And that song.
You're just another part of me.
We're just another part of each other. Come on, now.
There was another Brokey. That's what she said. Brokey. What? You wait a minute. First off, let me explain something to you. The dollar consistently devalues. Why? Because it's a fiat currency. In the history of all fiat currencies have returned to zero. This is why you think it's more money, but it's actually less money. This is why the contracts for players look fucking crazy right now. Oh, 4 million, 400, 4 years, 450 million. You go, what the fuck? What kind of contract is that?
It's less money.
It's because the money is worth less than it was 10 years ago. So you need more of it to have the same value. This is why you go back and say, oh, well, America purchased the Louisiana Purchase at that time for $15 million. Well, what would that 15 million be worth today? It would be worth more because the money had more value back then. Do you understand? Fiat currencies return to zero. And every year we're losing money or losing worth. And guess what? And what was it? 71? Nixon
the gold
takes
standard.
us off the gold standard.
Yep.
The money's been going down in value ever since.
He started the war on drugs and took us off the gold standard in the same year.
Do you see? This is why
Overachiever.
This is why my uncle could buy his house in the 70s by the Rose Bowl for $19,000 and why it's worth 2, 3, 4 million now. You see, the value of money, American money, has gone down. And when you get BRICS involved and they say, you know what, we're going to stop trading with dollars. We're going to start trading with our own currencies. Yeah. That really puts a threat to the American dollar. So no matter what fake life you might be living, you might be able to buy you a Coach bag. You might be, and I'm not trying to reprimand the youngster. I'm simply saying you're culturally tone deaf. If your wealth is defined by your oppressor. When a white group says, you know what, we need culture infused into our luxury line, you a hoe that's being paid by a pimp.
Basis points.
Yeah.
Ask Diddy.
Ooh.
Because Diddy, what Diddy did? Hey, y'all niggas is being racist. Y'all not planting our agave plants. This is a black brand. You got to give us the same treatment you give these other liquor. You talking, nigga?
Charges.
Nigga, everything about your bitch ass will come out tonight. To remind you, because don't act like your hands is clean, nigga. You've been mimicking us this whole time.
Well, that's what happened to Grey Goose. Grey Goose wasn't even popular until Jay-Z put it in one of his videos. And even the owner of Grey Goose said that, oh, yeah, we should have gave him some stock in it. Because they blew up like overnight after his being featured in one of his videos. We get used. We just get used all the time.
But that's what? Not knowing your value.
Yeah.
Not fixing yourself. Well, going back, you talking about relationship issues.
But you can't fix yourself until you realize, I got to fix myself.
Until you realize you're broken. That's the fair point.
Well, yeah, but when you try to put yourself in an air fryer versus going...
You know how easy it is for us to jump on radio and be like, this bitch ain't shit.
Yeah.
Or this nigga ain't shit. This nigga lied to me. This nigga cheated on me. Fuck him. I get to treat him like he ain't shit until I find somebody else. This is our movement. I'm telling you, it's a movement in dysfunction.
It is.
Hey, listen, I want everybody to support my brother Dwann B. Dwann B showed up and showed out. Can everybody hit his Cash App? His Cash App is $Dwann B1. If you guys appreciate any of the work that we laid out today in this conversation, man, you may have heard it before. You may have thought, man, when were these two brothers going to get together? Well, today was today. If you appreciate, if you acknowledge it, please support the best way you know how. You already know I have limited supply of He Is resin. I got red and green. The red is stronger than the green, but the green
Gets the
is
job
mean.
done.
The green is
mean.
The green is mean. I mean, the green is mean. I would say, just get the green. You get the red. Shit, unless you're in the industry or something.
I'm never gonna dance again.
I'm just gonna say get the green if you just yeah. But go to my website, MrZowhat.com. Go to my Cash App, $Zowhatnetter. Sarah is in the building.
Oh my
she got this
God,
thing
man.
together, man. I appreciate her for working so hard to get it back on track.
Hello,
Please
y'all.
support Sarah. Her Cash App is $Sundays with Sarah.
Sarah.
Please
That's
continue
what I
to
say.
support. Tonight, I'm on KBLA Talk 1580, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm telling you, I got an amazing topic tonight. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'll be posting on my Instagram a little later. My Instagram is right there, at Sir, HRH, Mr. Zowhat. Please continue to follow. Please continue to like and share. I hope you guys enjoyed today's topic. What up?
Doo-doo.
Oh! Wow. October 25th, I'm doing a relationship roundtable here at One Stream,
Yeah.
right? I'm doing the prey that got away, a deep exploration into how love and loss affect the predatory dynamics of intimate relationship. What do I mean by that? Oftentimes, the breakup is more difficult when our wounds, unhealed wounds, haven't been satiated. See, our wounds make us look at people as prey. Oh, this person can give me what I need. This person has everything I think I need. So in a lot of ways, we're looking at the person as prey. Oh, this person will bring me peace, or this person will bring me safety and security. No, you're preying on that person. And what we're doing here, we're going to start doing this. It's a relationship roundtable mixer.
Ooh.
So if you're in LA,
I need to come back for that.
it's
cool.
going to be fire. It's going to be a mixer as well as we got a PowerPoint presentation set up. It's going to be fly as
Is it
hell.
gonna be men's this though?
Of course, I'm gonna bring comics and clinicians, and they're gonna be people involved there. That's gonna take it up a notch. But it's really about meeting people and connecting with people, and we're gonna have topics whenever we do this. So the first topic we're going with is the prey that got away. It's gonna be amazing, man. October 25th, the weekend before. That's Friday before Halloween. It's going to be here at Vibration Studios, 740 Centinela Avenue, Inglewood, California.
Oh, it's how to. So you can meet them before they put their mask on.
Oh, it's going to be fire.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's going to be fire, y'all. So I just wanted to promote that. I got love for y'all. Don't forget, please support all of the businesses and stuff we put
Can I
in
do
front
one
of you.
more?
Yes. Jawi Sola! Hey, this is my brother, man, from Nigeria. When I tell you, one thing, listen, he about to bury his mom. Shout out to his mother. His mother passed away. Nigerians have a practice. His mother's not going to, his mother passed maybe 3 to 4 weeks ago.
Okay.
But she's not going to be buried until February
What?
next year. They have like a process that they do. Like that you have to buy a house, or if you already own a house, you have to bury them in front of the house, in front of their property. Yeah, man, it's a whole situation. And that's my brother Jawi Sola. When I tell you the dude calls me every morning, which is nighttime, my time. He's 10 hours ahead. He calls every morning his time, praying. Zoe, it's time to pray.
Hey, get out.
Praying, he calling out my mama name. He pray
That's dope.
every day. When I say every day, I mean he does not miss a day. He calls me, Zoe, it's time to pray. It's time to pray. And Again, I believe we need that. I believe all of us need that kind of support. So I want to shout out my brother Jawi Sola. Listen, if you guys want to get with him, let me know, and I'll connect you with Jawi Sola. He want to pray for everybody.
His WhatsApp is in the chat if y'all go to the chat.
His WhatsApp is in the chat. There we go. There we go. All right, you guys. I appreciate y'all. Stay connected with me. I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. I'll see y'all next week with another slapper. Deuces.
That was fun.